Hello, everyone. Welcome to the RV Living Show. Hey, today we'll be talking about cooking for two in your RV.
Yeah, so stay with us where we give you some tips and tricks that we've learned how to make our smaller RV kitchen work, as well as cooking less for just the two of us. So we'll see you in a bit. The RV life. We're surrounded with the message that it's a life you have to wait until retirement to have, and a life that only some can afford. And while it might be reality for those who want to believe that's true, we're on a mission to change that mindset and help people to stop wondering and start wandering to create a life they love.
Join us in conversations about how to design your RV life. We're Bryan Luann Street, and this is the RV Living Show.
So again, welcome to the RV Living Show. We're Bryan and Luann Street. If you've never heard from us before, or you're not part of read our RV lifestyle articles, you can find more about us at streetswander.com. So welcome, guys. We're so excited you're joining us today. The topic is cooking for two in your RV.
Yes.
And, you know, everybody's got to eat, right? That's just the way it happens. And so the challenge is that you start traveling or living in your RV, and you have so much less space for all the things that you're either used to cooking with or that you're used to having on hand.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about some solutions to those things.
It definitely
today.
takes you have to readjust your thinking a little bit to get everything down to where it works more efficiently.
For sure. Well, we want to welcome everyone who's watching us live and those of you who are watching on the replay. We really appreciate it that you watch us, and we would love to be able to chat with you in the comments if you can ever join us live like those who are today. We always spend a few minutes at the end of every show, and we kind of talk about the topic, and we can answer any questions that you have. So go ahead and in the comments, if you're here with us live, let us know who's watching and where you're watching from. We always love to know that.
That's right.
Okay, so the topic today is cooking for two in your RV. So there are all sorts of different ways that you can start making a difference in your RV cooking. And one of the first ways is you need to get used to your smaller space, right? So whenever you are, thinking about, RVing and doing all the things that you're going to be going to a campsite, you're going to be cooking. A lot of times you may have that idea that you're going to grill out more, which is a great thing. And then there's times when you're full-timing that you don't grill out every night. So there's all sorts of different ways that you can cook in your RV.
Yeah, I mean, one of the reasons is, a lot of times weather won't let you grill out at night.
Yeah, so that's another thing is that, you may be, I know we went to Charleston most recently, camped with our kids, and it rained a couple days right at dinner time, and we couldn't get out and grill or even have a fire. And so you do have to deal with those.
You do have to work around that.
So let's talk about limited space for a minute. Most RVs, depending on, which kind you have, is going to have a smaller fridge. They most likely don't have designated food areas that you store. I mean, I have a pantry, but it's a small pantry. I happen to have a residential fridge, but a lot of RVs don't. And so I know our first RV, we had to live with what we had when we went camping. We had that space was all that we had.
Yeah, it was kind of real smaller domestic refrigerator, but it worked. But we did have to adjust what we put in it.
Yeah, so that means that when you go to the grocery store, you're not stocking up as much on food. You're not keeping the things on hand that maybe you're used to doing to be able to pull together a last minute meal. So an option here is that you can grill outside. Yes. We just talked about that. If the weather's good.
If the weather's good, yeah, that's one thing we love to do. I mean, actually, I love to do is grill outside. I can talk a little bit about that grill.
Yeah, do that.
I know many of you probably have already used a Blackstone grill, but I recently got one,
and it's really not a grill; it's a griddle.
It's a griddle.
Yeah,
it's really a griddle, but it has absolutely changed how we cook because it's so much more versatile. We can cook breakfast on it. We can cook anytime we're ready. We can go out and just cook about anything on it.
So what's kind of cool is that this has helped Bryan come into his own with cooking. That's not a thing that he has ever liked to do in the past. And by buying this Blackstone, I got him the 17-inch for Christmas. We now have invested in going up a step to the 22-inch because he enjoys doing it so much. Now, for those of you who are going to rush right out and buy a Blackstone right now, Father's Day just happened, and you're not going to find a 22-inch very easily. I saw some 17 inches, but he still doesn't have his 22-inch because we haven't been able to order it yet. But we've enjoyed this Blackstone a lot. And
one of the nice things about it, other than you able to cook so many things on it, is that if you get on like a YouTube and search for Blackstone recipes, there's a lot of people out there talking about all the different types of foods they cook on it. It's really kind of changed. We found some really neat recipes we really like to cook, and it's kind of changed how we actually want to eat at home more.
Well, Bryan has mastered breakfast on the Blackstone griddle. It's just amazing. Hash browns, bacon, eggs, and I know a lot of people watching maybe do the same thing, but it's really, really kind of helped our lifestyle because now he goes outside and he cooks breakfast. It's amazing. I love that.
Well, it's nice also because you don't make the bigger mess inside your RV, and so it kind of takes everything outside.
Yes. Yeah. And so it doesn't heat up your RV. So that is the beauty of grilling. The last thing I want to talk about with limited space is that when you're thinking of packing your RV, you want to have as many multi-use kitchen items as possible. I happen to love my Instant Pot. It is one of my favorite multi-use tools because it does so many different things for me. There are like the Ninjas. I know that they have the multi-use with the air fryer and the slow cooker and the pressure cooker all in one, like the Instant Pot. So those are great appliances. I happen to not be able to fit a Ninja in my cabinet because the Ninja top doesn't come off. If it came off, I would be able to have that and I could store them separately, but I don't have a place for that. But a lot of people love those multi-use items, and I highly recommend that if you're going to start cooking in your RV, that you find these things that help you use them for more than one item. If you can only do one thing with it, you really need to evaluate what that one thing is and how important that is to you.
Yes, it's true.
Okay, so the second thing about cooking in your RV is, and this was something that I brought from my Sticks and Bricks life too. Like this is just a challenge, and maybe those of you who really like to cook, this isn't so much of a challenge. I cook to feed us. I don't cook for pleasure. So those of you who love to cook for pleasure, kudos to you. I would love to eat with you anytime. So, but this is the challenge that I came across actually in my own planning of cooking and things, is that I can't decide what to cook. You know, you get bored with the same old recipes. You've done the same things over and over again. There's only so many times you can do hot dogs and hamburgers on the fly just because you didn't plan ahead. And that has been a problem for me. But since we have moved into the RV, I have come across a resource that I've really enjoyed using, and it's called the $5 meal plan. And if you want to learn more about that, you can check it out at streetswander.com $5 meal plan. They offer you a 14-day free trial. And what it does is it gives you a meal plan for the whole week. It gives you the shopping list. And this resource has helped me make my meal plans. I don't have to think about it. I can buy what's on the list. And then I have the shopping list. I come home, put it away. It's a smaller amount of food than I normally buy because I tend to buy what I think I might want to cook sometime in the week. And when you have limited storage, then it becomes, everything's laying around because you can't store it anywhere. Yes. So this has helped us kind of mush down that whole thing of planning the meals and being able to have enough storage for them. Not to mention the meals are, they're set up so that you use everything that you buy on the list. You don't have a bunch of leftovers. So that's great when you have limited space, smaller fridges, that kind of thing. You are able to use up all the food that you buy. So you're saving money, you're saving time, and you're saving your decision making, which is a huge thing.
Yeah, it really helps because of the fact that we can't shop like we did living in our house. We can't
Right.
go. We can't go and buy groceries to last us, a week or 2 weeks, because we just simply don't have room for it. So you got to plan a little bit more closely to what you're going to eat at the moment, and then kind of maybe go back to the store later in the week.
Yes. So this is a way that has really helped us do that. Now, the problem with can't deciding what to cook, and the reason I solved it this way, is because a lot of times we would, we didn't take anything out of the freezer. I didn't plan ahead. Maybe it was a travel day and I didn't plan ahead. But then we go out to eat, and then we blow our financial budget as well as our calorie budget because we're going out to eat too often. And so this has helped us cut down on that and solve that problem of can't decide what to cook. Okay, so we're going to share with you a tip coming up in a few minutes, but first we want to talk about and invite you to a challenge that's coming up. All RVers want to travel, right? And we are putting on a travel challenge inside our free Facebook group, and this is a free challenge. You can come into the group, and we're going to be doing live training starting tomorrow through the 15th of July. And if you sign up for the challenge, you will get daily emails that will help you through planning your next RV adventure. And that's what it's called. It's called the Plan Your Next RV Adventure Challenge. And we're going to take you step by step through the planning process for your next RV trip. And at the end, you will have a trip that you can just go and enjoy and not have to think about.
Yeah, it's going to be really fun because, it's RVing. If you're going to have fun RVing, you got to plan your trip.
Got to plan your trip.
Plan.
So inside the Facebook group, you will post your challenge homework every day so that you can kind of share and see what everybody else is doing. It'll be a really fun time. So we encourage you to sign up at streetswander.com/travel challenge. All right. So let's go on and do this last tip. And that is cooking too much food. So, and that was kind of the whole idea of this whole topic, was cooking for two in your RV, because a lot of us are, becoming empty nesters. We're moving from cooking for larger families down into just cooking for two people. And I am terrible at this because I have a hard time figuring out what is a good amount to make for two people, or honestly for even four people.
Like when you go to the store, I'm bad about this. When I go to a store, I see, like, for instance, buying rice, for instance, I don't know what pack of rice to buy. I buy one and it makes, 4 gallons.
Right. No. And we have it for days.
We have it for days. I mean, this is a problem. You're really buying the right amount.
So the way that we have conquered that, well, I can't help him when he picks the wrong size rice, but the other way that I have conquered this is another tool that I've found to use, and it's called Plan to Eat. And that Plan to Eat is a resource. It is an online resource that lets you have your own cookbook in a digital format. And what's really cool about it is that it has a bookmarklet that when you're searching for recipes online, you click that. So let's say you pull up this recipe and you're like, oh, that's really good. Well, instead of printing it out or, saving the URL for you to come back to later, Plan to Eat lets you click the button and it puts it right into your Plan to Eat database. And once it's in there, you can scale that recipe down to 2 people or even 1, or up to potluck size. So if you needed to bring enough for 10 people, you could take that recipe and scale it either way. And it helps produce the shopping list for you and the quantities of things that you need based on the size of the recipe. So this has also been a really neat tool that helps me archive and curate my own recipes that I like to use, and then spit out my own personal shopping list. So with the meal plan, that would give me ideas, and then the recipes that we really, really liked, they go into my other set of this Plan to Eat, and so that I can reuse them again and again as we get new recipes on the other side with the $5 meal plan.
Yeah, well, once you have the recipes, it makes it so much easier to go in there and just pick out what you want to do for the week.
It does. You click and you set up your menu plan, and then it generates the shopping list for you. And and all those of us who are RVing, right? We may end up having to go to a potluck, or we're going to eat with the people next door, or you have family come into the campground, and you can scale up your recipes, which I found was a really neat feature. So I want to hear the way that you have conquered this cooking for two in your RV. What challenges have you come up against, and what solutions have you had? So I would love to know that. If you're not here with us live, you can always post in the chat and give me your ideas, because I like to know all the ideas. It's really great. It's really great. So I'm going to check it right now. We're going to go see who's live.
Let's see who's live.
All right. So let's see. Madeline says hello. Tina Mack says she's here. Steve says he's here from Michigan. Tammy from Durham. Gabby Carlson from Palm Springs. Tina says she's in Upper Black Eddy, north of PA, of Philadelphia, PA. Awesome. Teresa Roper and Alton are watching from their home in Stark. Hi, Teresa and Alton. Richard and Charlotte and Kathy. And is it electric? Madeline says. Is what electric? I bet you're asking about the Blackstone. No, it's propane.
It's propane. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you hook it up outside, either with the little canisters, right?
Yes. Little canisters work, or you could actually get an adapter to, if you have a propane tank on your RV, it can be hooked into that. Yeah,
so we bought that thing, that extender.
Yes, it's a propane thing you plug into your line, and it allows you to run, either fill your tank or run a line over to your grill.
Mm-hmm. So that saved us from having and carrying those little canisters around. I hope that answered Madeline. Mm-hmm. Belinda says she's watching from Montana. Hello. Barbara. Hey, Barbara. Chester, New York, huh? Wendy says chocolate chip cookies didn't work for us on the Blackstone. Others have done it, and they burnt to a crisp. Oh, we haven't tried chocolate chip cookies.
Never even tried.
We may have to have a chocolate chip cookie challenge on the Blackstone.
See if we can figure it out.
Karen says her Ninja has to sit and travel on the countertop. Yes. Yep. I really looked at that. I wanted that because I wanted the air fryer option, and we actually have a really much smaller air fryer, so I have two things. But Madeline says she loves her Instant Pot. Yes, and you keep it in storage below. Awesome. I love mine too. Karen says she does a freezer meal prep once a month and has a list of choices to choose from of what I want that week. I used to do that in my Sticks and Bricks life. I have not done that since being in the RV. We might have to put in.
For us, storage would be a problem.
Well, yeah, that's true. The other RV that we had a freezer that was outside, and we could fill that up, and then the inside freezer was for just using stuff. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's true. That would be a problem. And Pam says she's watching from Cleveland, and Karen says she does have to take out the meals that need thawing, but I plan on our weekly calendar, and that helps. That's awesome.
Yes.
Pam says she received her travel planner today. Woohoo! Yay! Oh, Kathy says hi from California. And Madeline says we don't mind having leftovers, particularly from the Instant Pot. It makes it an easy the next day, for sure.
For sure. Sometimes leftovers are better than the real meal.
Yeah, depending on. I just have to be careful that I don't make 6 or 8 servings out of it, because he doesn't particularly like to have it more than once. So everybody's got
certain things is definitely leftovers are great.
And Barbara says we have an Instant Pot Ultra 6-quart with an optional air fryer lid. And Brad did get a Blackstone. Fried rice cooks well. Yes. Fried rice was awesome on the Blackstone. That was really good. We did that one night, and that turned out really well. Yeah.
What size did you get there?
No, she said 6 quarts.
No, for the Blackstone.
Oh, yeah. Let us know what size of the Blackstone you got. Because, we were thinking 17 because it was just the two of us. And now he's gotten so much better at cooking on it that he wants the bigger one.
Yeah,
so
definitely want I think it's 22 inches. Is that what it was? Yeah,
the 22. Yeah. And we didn't get the one with the stand. We we got the one that he can put on the picnic table or put on a little table, because we didn't want to store the stand. So, well, awesome, guys. Thanks for sharing. And, you know, this would be a great place if you guys want to come back to this, these comments and pop some recipes in here that you want to share. We could even start that in our Facebook group, Stop Wondering and Start RVing. We could start a thread on that and share some of those things, your better recipes.
We call it recipes for two.
Recipes for two, right? So yeah, so jump in there, and we would love to hear from you. And we would love to master those chocolate chip cookies on a Blackstone. That we might have to give that a shot.
I'm gonna have to try that.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, and we hope you guys have a great week and stay safe if you're in the path of the hurricane. Barbara said 17-inch, so she knew that. And yeah, so you guys stay safe, and we will see you next week on the RV Living Show. Thanks for joining us.
Take care.
If I can find what I'm supposed to be doing here. There we go.
Thank you for joining us for the RV Living Show. We hope this episode helps you in creating an RV life you love.
Until next time, we encourage you to stop wandering and start wandering.